Good afternoon. My name is Jimmy Brim. I'm the Chief Academic Officer for Woodford County Public Schools, and I just wanted to take a few moments to talk about some possible options for what our current high school could be used for if the community passed the facilities tax, which has been proposed. I'm actually going to do this presentation from a rather boring location of my office because I wanted to be able to go through and show you some pictures, but just wanted to spend about 5 minutes so you were aware out in the community of what our current high school could be used for should we move forward. Behind me, you can see, and again, this is just my office here, is what kind of looks like my CTE war room right now. Is we have spent a ton of time this year working with our local business and local industries about how we could, as a public school system, ensure we were matching skills and graduates with those jobs that are right here within our community. I mean, there's many different avenues that spans from business to FAMCO, health sciences, pre-engineering, agriculture, many different avenues and many different jobs right here in our community that we know that with focus, with collaboration, and with partnerships, we can do an even better job at matching students to those careers. Now, a lot of these things on the board here would be things that we would include within the new high school. Actually, all of them would have programs within the new high school. FAMCO, business, health science, pre-engineering, agriculture, and other career options for students. But we do know that a workforce development center at our current high school could be huge for moving this community forward and making sure that all the jobs that are available, and currently there are a ton of jobs available in our community, that we're able to match skills with those jobs. And that doesn't just mean the K-12 system. That means a place where we can match up adults in our community with some training options at our current high school. So I'm going to jump in and just show some pictures to you on my computer that'll come up on your screen so that you can kind of go through this with me. So if we look here, we know, again, our kids, their future, that's what we're all believe in. That's what we believe in here at the district office, that this is what's right for the kids of the future. And a lot of really awesome, smiling, cute faces there that are counting on us to make sure that we continue to be a top-level school district into the future. Background of the high school, and again, we've seen that about our new high school proposed will be approximately $47 million. Our facilities plan has $56 million in unmet needs. And what about a new high school would be great? So though this is not the purpose of this 5-minute talk, did want to keep that in front of you, that we do know that the 21st century skills necessary now for all students to succeed once they leave us are very different than they were 50 years ago when the high school was built. And the creation of a new high school allows us to have that flexible space. But what about our current high school? What are some things we can do there? And a lot of that work is centered around technical pathways, adult education, could put our alternative program there, move the board office there so it's more centralized for the community, and possibly early learning into the future. So I'm going to touch on all of those, but what I really want to focus on and the most exciting partnerships when it comes to our current high school is looking at technical pathway possibilities there, and the possibility of that being what we envision, and this is dreaming a bit, but being a workforce development center. So while there'll be K-12 programs there, there'll also be programs there for the community to utilize, or for our local business and industry to utilize as training centers. If you're a factory online 24 hours a day and need to train workers, that's extremely difficult to do because you have to shut down your line. But there are partnerships across the state and workforce development centers who have perfected having places where we partner with business and industry. They can send their people there to get some training, and then we are able to use that space for K-12 education or adult education even moving forward. So here are some companies that we have been working with this year around these programs, and all these companies have jobs right now in our community that they are begging for employees. Quad Graphics, Yokohama, NSG, used to be Pinkerton, Leadvance, More Than a Bakery, and Lakeshore. Leadvance was Osborne, Pennsylvania, as you likely know. All of these, and this is just a group of 6 that I put up because these are the ones I've had the most frequent conversations with recently. We are really excited about a possibility of a track program, which you'll see on that on your screen right now. And a track program is certified apprenticeships. We've been working with, at this time, mainly Quad Graphics in Yokohama to get a set of students identified to where they actually can spend part of their senior year being paid for part of their day, if not a lot of their day, with apprenticeships within the factory itself and getting paid to learn the jobs. And then track apprenticeships are transferable skills that you then have an actual certification and can utilize across the country, that we hope they stay right here in Woodford County. But these are partnerships that can only happen when we really have centers here to teach the classes and teach the training that goes before students are able to qualify for those apprenticeship opportunities. So one huge example is this manufacturing center. And again, this is a dream. So would it look exactly like this? No. But what this is a picture of is the Advanced Manufacturing Center that is currently up and running in Georgetown. It is run by BCTC. There are Scott County High School students who get to utilize this facility. And you can see this is what an advanced manufacturing center would look like at its absolute top level. Now, we recognize our current high school could not hold all of those programs within that BCTC is offering at their center. But we feel confident that our current high school could utilize a piece of these programs that are companies need. So when we look, if you look across this picture, if you look at robotics, the lessons and the learning behind robotics transfers into all of our industrial fields that our employers throughout this community are asking for. So we feel confident that we can take at least part of this facility and what you're seeing here and incorporate it into our current high school building. If we were to have a new high school, we can't do this right now. We don't have space, we don't have room. So this is a vision that's not attainable right now, to make sure that we have this space for students to practice skills and or adults and industry to come in and practice skills that they need in their jobs for advanced degrees. We have had conversations with BCTC itself that should we be able to create a new high school and have some space, is there the openness and willingness to have conversations about a partnership by where students can earn classes in a center, a modified center like this, where they're actually able to come and take classes right here in Versailles as part of BCTC. Again, this only happens if we have the room to do that. Down that same line, we know we have a ton of health jobs in the area. And we have talked to Midway about partnering with them in the future, about having some health sciences courses. And while, again, those would be offered at a new high school, there are some training options in that our local hospital would need, or that local healthcare providers around Central Kentucky would need, that we could provide within what is the current high school building. Here's pictures of, this is an innovation center. I believe that's in Laurel County. The middle picture is Elkhorn Crossing, and these are some of the health sciences that they're able to do in their school. And then this one to the right, I believe that's Franklin County. So they're able to provide health sciences right there in their building. Moving forward, we know that there are a large number of culinary jobs within our community. And we have great examples across the state of when you can partner with local universities to have a top-notch culinary program. These are pictures from Hardin County Schools Early College Center. You can see this bottom right one is inside is a training kitchen. So there's a training there. There's cameras in that hood to where the instructor can train students on top-level culinary techniques, and then students go into the kitchen and practice those techniques. This is valuable for a K-12 center, but when you talk about workforce development, you can see where local industry, local business in the culinary hospitality would find this valuable for them to use as well. These are the partnerships that we're able to establish, and we're working on establishing them, but they're all contingent on having that space that it currently is occupied by our high school. Another neat one that's super excited about would be, we've been in conversations with Midway about their equine program and some options for that. Now, a lot of that would be run at Midway University, as they have a top-notch equine program. But we also know that we have the option of using that facility for workforce development that is currently our high school. Locust Trace has a veterinary clinic. There's a picture of a school farm. We would have some additional land either at the new facility, at the new high school facility by the middle school, or possibly at our current high school to create some additional agricultural space where our students can actually participate in farming. So that's a pretty cool FFA crew right there that actually started a school farm. These are options open to us at the new high school, and these conversations are ongoing and in the process should this start to happen, that in 3-4 years, we can hit the ground running with that. Last piece of a picture that I wanted to show is that in the future, should the need be that our elementary schools fill to a point that we no longer can house preschool within those schools, they've done some really neat things with preschool centers or preschool and kindergarten centers. This is pictures of one in Corbin. You can see when you have a whole bunch of little people in one area and you can put them all together, you can kind of tailor the building to those little people with small tables, small chairs, lower level water fountains and restroom facilities. That's what Corbin's been able to do with their preschool center. And should we reach a need of increased enrollment and we would need a preschool center, we know that our current high school could be used for those purposes. So again, all of those options are things that we're potentially able to do with our current high school center. So I'm going to come back and just close up here and just thank you for taking the time to learn about the accurate information related to the facilities tax. And we are passionate about the need in this community. And the reason we're passionate is because of our students and because of the potential that we're sitting on. But it's not just the traditional K-12 system. The options for current space are huge should the facility tax move forward. Now, the question that I will close on, because I know I get, is, so how would we fund all this remodeling to the current high school if we were to have some of these workforce development programs? Well, you can see where they're very different than the current K-12 program. And when we talk about partnerships with BCTC, with Midway, with local business and industry, and funding available from the state for workforce development, you can see that there are additional funding sources on top of just the tax if we have the areas to put these things. If we can reach out to the workforce development from the state, grants frequently come open for workforce development centers where the state is willing to partner with areas to build workforce development centers. Now, those are not promised funds, and I don't want to come with any inaccurate information. Those are not promised funds, but those are all potential funds that we can do to make sure that we're creating students ready for the 21st century, whether that be college or whether that be to enter our workforce right here in Woodford County. So I thank you for taking a few minutes to learn about some potential options. And if you have any questions, please feel free to call, email me, jimmy.brehm, and that's BREHM, @woodford.kyschools.us. Thanks.